So, as you guys know, when it comes to the trailers for this movie, I did not like them and I did not respond to them well. So, it is a pleasant surprise for me to say that, shockingly, I had a bit of fun watching this movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I genuinely, I think that this is a good to decent movie. I can tell you right off the bat that I'm feeling a 7 out of 10 for Army of the Dead. Who'd have thunk? From the first frame of the movie all the way to the opening credits, like that little chunk right there of the opening minutes to this movie, I think they're pretty bad. So at the beginning of the film, we get shown how the outbreak occurred, right? And it has to deal with these soldiers, these military soldiers. They're out in the desert. They're driving on the highway. They have with them a special package, if you will, with something nasty and evil and dark lurking on the inside, right? So the military, while they're driving these Humvees on the desert road, they have an accident that results in the zombie outbreak. Now the reason for the accident is so fucking stupid. Like, it's so dumb that it's mind-blowing that it made the final edit. The concept of how all this bullshit started in Las Vegas. The opening credit sequence is pure cringe. I mean, there's a couple moments in there where I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you, this just might be the weakest opening credit sequence from Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, he kind of has a thing for making interesting opening credit sequences. This was not one of them. Visually, silently, they do these weird character profiles. Like you see how this person is posing for the camera right here, you know? Okay, well, there's moments throughout this opening credit sequence where the characters will be doing exactly what you see here as like a bizarre way of non-dialogue wise of describing visually the characters to you, which it's like, listen, I'm all for less exposition. I don't know, seeing it was just a little bit too meta, seeing characters pose like this so that you could silently gather what they're about, from a character bio standpoint, from a personality standpoint. Like, there's a moment where Dave Bautista, he's like posing with, like, you know, family pictures and shit, and it's supposed to suggest real quickly without dialogue that, like, oh, okay, so like he's a father, he has a family, he might be a good man at heart, he's like you know, ex-military, or he was in the military, whatever. But like for some reason, moments like this just came across, it just really cringy to me. It kind of felt like something out of an overly produced music video or something like that. The entire first opening minutes feels like a over-the-top, eye-roll inducing music video movie, bizarrely influenced by the Suicide Squad. And really, this movie, I mean, this movie is basically a Suicide Squad that goes into the heart of zombie-infested Las Vegas to pull off a heist where they can hopefully score like upwards to, I think it was like $50 million or something like that, so that they can go live out the rest of their lives in paradise, like kind of on some Set It Off type shit, but if like influenced by like James Gunn's Suicide Squad or something. You know what I mean? It's not horror. It's not scary. It's not disturbing. It's not creepy. It's not haunting. You know, it's not eerie. It's none of those things. But the movie, for the most part, it is fun, silly, over the top, occasionally badass, humorous heist film, while also being a zombie movie epic. It's a bit ambitious, or at least Zack Snyder has some strong ambitions when making this film, you know. And bizarrely, like, I kind of dig it. I mean, there's no denying that the first opening minutes is like, oh my god! Like during the opening credit sequence, that song that was playing, that "Viva la Las Vegas," yeah. Oh my god. Luckily, that's the last time that super cringy music plays, at least in comparison with the audio and the imagery. Yeah, luckily the movie is not filled with cringy music. Thank God. Another thing is that I feel like this is Zack Snyder's most restrained that he's been in a while. For example, there's not like, I swear to God, somebody said that there's something like 24 minutes worth of Wachowski level slow motion in the Justice League movie, and incredibly, there's not that much slow-mo in this movie, if at all. Maybe there's like some minute, I mean, just in comparison to his past films, there's not a overabundance of slow-mo action sequences or moments. In fact, when it comes to slow motion, it seems like Zack Snyder kind of was on the restraint. He kind of restrained himself, and that was really gratifying to me. Like, I thought that was great, because I'm not gonna lie to you, this nigga uses slow-mo way too much. It's almost become like a bizarre crutch. So it was really refreshing to see him not use it as much. Another thing that's great, for some reason, I thought this was gonna be like a bad CGI overkill situation, and it's not. It felt like there was more practical effects than CGI effects. It seemed like a lot of the CGI was relegated towards like buildings or like the environment, or when there's like swarms of zombies in the distance. It seems like that's all it was needed for, which thank God, because when I saw the trailer, I got so scared that there was going to be like CGI zombies and like CGI kills, mostly, you know, like a bunch of like CGI car chases, stuff like that. And luckily it's not. Luckily it's not like that. Luckily it doesn't feel like CGI overkill. Thank God. Another thing is that the smart zombies in this movie, like from the trailer, listen, I love zombie stuff, okay? Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, I feel like it's like a borderline cult classic. I just love that movie. When it comes to smart zombies, thank God it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Ordinarily, I hate this concept. It's so dumb. I mean, if you're going to make them fucking smart, you might as well just make them vampires or something like that. You know what I mean? The concept of smart zombies has always been dumb to me. But the way that it's handled in this movie, not bad. Not bad. I mean, it's not like the zombies. Like, here's what I was afraid of. Here's what I was afraid of from the previews. I was afraid that like zombies are gonna be talking to each other and it's gonna be subtitled. I was afraid that all of the zombies were gonna be smart zombies. I thought like we were gonna see zombies like shooting machine guns or something like that. I don't know. Fucking Zack Snyder's out there, bro. I don't know. Thank God the zombies were not on that level of intellect, thank God. Because when you get to that level, I feel like we're not really talking about zombies anymore. I really appreciated that for the most part, these zombies are like stereotypical zombies that you would find in like The Walking Dead, except that they can run and jump and move like a motherfucker. I really appreciated that the smart zombies were few and not the many. Thank you, Zach. Another thing that I was surprised by was the chemistry amongst the cast in terms of our main characters. You know, like we got this big buff light-skinned dude who has like this big motorized saw. You know, it's amazing how much I came to appreciate his character. You know, he was like a poetic type of character. There's this German code breaker who was probably arguably was my favorite character, just because he's just so quirky and awkward, and he was kind of just like a reflection of my actual self. I feel like if the black dude and this German dude, if they were one person, if I was in this situation and I was called upon to help in this heist, I feel like I would be like an amalgamation of those two people. And by the way, I loved what happened with the relationship between these two guys. I thought it was just so adorable. Dave Bautista as Scott Ward, I thought he was great. I thought he was good. I thought he was really, really solid in this role. I thought that Dave Bautista's performance was surprisingly emotive and mixed with badass. You know, like when you look at him like charging zombies and like fighting these fucking zombies like UFC style while fucking firing fucking bullets into the heads of zombies, like he totally sells it. And in these quiet moments, like there's a moment in the third act between Scott and Cruz that was a surprisingly poignant and almost a bit of a haunting moment. It's a moment where they're intimate with each other, and it totally caught me off guard, and I was like, Bert Cummings and Martin are probably some of the most cliched and predictable characters within this film. They play these bad guys. It's the kind of bad guys that you've seen 1,000 times. The first half of the movie is a good deal of world building, and then the second half of the movie deals with introducing us to the characters, getting us familiar with the characters, their personalities, which another great thing, all of the characters are distinctive and they're easy to point out and they're easy to describe. Fucking, what was it? The zombie tiger, Valentine. Oh my God, there's a murder sequence where the zombie tiger fucking murders someone, and that murder sequence is just, after we get introduced to these characters and we set out on the heist mission, like dog, it's almost like the more time you spend with the movie, the more fun and entertaining it becomes. It's kind of a big dumb movie, but like if I saw this movie as a kid, I would have loved this movie. Okay, this is the kind of movie where if I saw it as a kid, I would have been recreating it with like action figures. And I love how in the last, I want to say in the last 30 to 40 minutes, fucking Zack Snyder's just like, fuck it. And he just completely uncorks just chaos and mayhem and blood and gore, and main characters finally start dropping like flies out of nowhere. And it's just fun. It's just fun. It genuinely was quite the delight. I had a fun time with this movie. Another thing that's interesting is that I wasn't bothered by the length of the movie. The length of the movie wasn't really a deal breaker or something like that. In fact, I feel like the length of the movie helped the movie, you know? Because once main characters start dying, it's remarkable how close I felt to some characters. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is I didn't hate it. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I really did not hate it. Surprisingly, I had a good time. I feel like this movie would be way better if you were drunk or high. I'm not gonna lie to you. Would I intentionally seek out and watch this movie again and again? Probably fucking not. But if I am watching it, or if you just so happen to be watching the film, surprisingly, despite my thoughts on the outside looking in before watching it for the first time, I think it's pretty good. Again, I'm feeling a 7 out of 10 for Army of the Dead. But, hey, what'd you think?